Hey Shauna. Okay, so I was just going to show you really quick how I edit this. So this is straight out of the camera. So my goal is going to be to make them stand out a little bit more and make the sky pop a little bit more. So I'm going to just bring up my exposure here in Lightroom a little bit. I think I'm going to bring up my temperature just a little bit more too. Not too much, but just a little. And then I'm going to bring my highlights down. That's going to make that sky really stand out. And I'm going to bring that up a little bit more. And I'm just mostly just watching the sky at this point, kind of playing with that. Then I'm going to bring my shadows up a little. The more I bring them up, the more of like the trees and grass I'm going to be able to see, but I kind of like how it's like, let me show you this one. I kind of like how you can't see like too much of the grass and trees. You can see it, but like, the focus is definitely on them and the sunset. So I'm going to bring my shadows up a little bit. I'm going to slide down here and add some vibrance. That's really going to help that sunset stand out even more, and then a little bit of clarity. Okay, and then I'm going to take my radial filter up here at the top, and I'm just going to put a filter around them, just kind of loosely. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click the invert button. That way, so then it's only affecting, no, is that right? Okay. Maybe it was already working. Oh yeah, it was. Okay, yeah, so sorry. Have the invert clicked off. That way it's affecting everything outside of the circle instead of inside the circle. So I'm going to take off any sharpness. I'm going to add some saturation to really boost those colors of the sunset. And I've got the colors popped up a little bit, or the brightness exposure up a little. I'm going to bring my highlights down a little bit more to really make that pop. And up more. Okay, so I've got some whites, a little bit of contrast, blacks are down. Good. Okay, now I'm going to come over to the adjustment brush and I'm going to zoom in on them and just brush directly onto them so that it doesn't leave a halo around them. Because I don't want like a halo around them with the sky in the background. That'll make it look photoshopped and stuff. So I'm just going to come in here and just get them brightened up and sharpened up so that they really pop in the image. And I do have a little bit of haloing around her, so I'm just going to slide down and click the erase right here. Come along her like arms and stuff and make sure that I take that off. That. Okay. And then I'm just going to click back on that A brush because that's what we're on. So right now I do have the sharpness pulled up to about 50. And then I've got my exposure brought up, blacks brought down, a little bit of the whites brought up, and a teeny bit of contrast. I might bring the highlight a little so I'm getting the details in her dress back in there. I might grab the whites just a teeny bit higher for her skin so that they're nice and bright. And I might actually bring the shadows up a little bit on them too. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and then I'm just going to crop it. And then, I mean, you could obviously crop it anywhere, but I intended for them to be centered shots one. So I put it maybe here. And then last thing, I have a little, my lens got scratched a week or two ago. So you can see that little spot there and there. So I'm just going to grab the spot removal. I've got it like a decent size, full opacity, and then feathered to about. And I'm just going to click on those dots. Hang on. Set spot somewhere else. Actually, I don't know why it's taking forever. Sorry. Okay, like that, and then, and like you could move that if you don't use these. Typically, like we'll just copy whatever's in this circle, and then I'm going to put one right here as well. Just tap it and fill this. Perfect. Okay, so that's all I would do. I just a really quick edit. That's the raw, and then that's the finished. So hopefully that was helpful.